the man's picture who was awarded $6 million and the city refuses to pay him, okay? He was wrongfully convicted. His name is Daryl Howard. Wrongfully convicted black man. Had the case successfully overturned, he got 2 murder convictions on his record. He never did them, got them overturned, received a pardon from the North Carolina governor for those crimes, sued the city of Durham for $6 million and won. He won the case. All right, let's get paid. You can never give him back his life. $6 million can never restore the years you took from him. So let's get him his money, damn it. Well, the city is refusing to pay. Even though they spent millions defending the corrupt cops who did this to him. Now, Durham officials have rejected a jury's judgment and decided they would not pay the award after having spent over $4 million to fight the case. According to the News Observer, a federal jury found retired detective Daryl Dowdy, who spent 36 years with the city, lied on Daryl Howard in 1995. As a result, Howard spent 21.5 years of an 80-year sentence in prison. A federal jury found that Detective Dowdy violated Howard's civil rights by fabricating evidence and purposefully conducting a poorly run investigation around the case. These actions resulted in a jury convicting Howard and 2 counts of second-degree murder and 1 count of arson. He did none of this. Howard and his attorney argued Dowdy was given the authority by way of his badge to set Howard up to be convicted of murdering Doris Washington, 29, and her 13-year-old daughter, Nashonda, in 1991. He was convicted of a double homicide that included a 13-year-old child. He didn't do it. He was innocent. He wasn't not guilty. He was actually innocent. Never did it. The detective in charge lied, fabricated evidence, manipulated the case, landed the conviction, and finally he gets justice, right? There's more. The 2 females were found dead in their Few Gardens apartment. DNA evidence suggested both mother and daughter were sexually assaulted before they were set on fire. However, no DNA or biological evidence linked Howard to the crime scene or as the rapist. The costly trial lasted several weeks, with the city spending more than $4 million in litigation. I want you to think about that. They spent $4 million in litigation. Who paid for that? The taxpayers did. $4 million in litigation in defense of the detective. Still, the jury needed only an hour to return to the court with the decision that sided with Mr. Howard. All right, that's what you call a slam dunk. Jury took an hour, okay? They basically took lunch, all right? They said, no, you did wrong. You gotta pay this man. Okay, the city spent $4 million to defend corrupt cops. They lose. Jury says pay the man $6 million. Okay, despite the finding, the Durham City Council opted to withhold the recommended 7-figure judgment in the case. The decision was made during a series of closed meetings over a 3-month span between December and February. While the city is opting not to compensate Howard, legal documents show the city wants the wrongfully convicted man to pay the legal fees of 2 city workers dropped from the original lawsuit. Now, this is why people don't like elected officials. He was wrongfully convicted, served over 20 years in prison. He wins the case, gets his conviction overturned, gets a pardon from the governor, and then gets awarded $6 million because of the corruption of your cops. And you defund the police by defunding the city. You defend these cops. You lose, you do not want to pay the man. In addition to that, you want the man to pay legal fees for your employees at the city. Wow, there's more. Even Dowdy's lawyer, Patricia Shields, thinks the city should pay and not leave her client with the bill. She revealed she had an inkling the city was not going to settle or pay the jury's judgment against Dowdy as far back as August 2021. Someone close to the case told her the city didn't believe they were obligated to pay if the court said he was guilty. She also questioned the rationale to spend so much in taxpayer dollars for the defense only to refuse to pay the judgment, all right? Saying, quote, the city has known all along what Captain Dowdy did and decided to defend him on that basis. I am upset on behalf of my client, Captain Dowdy, who spent 30 years of his life protecting the citizens of Durham. So obviously there's a mixed bag with this attorney, right? She also added that he doesn't have the $6 million to give from $76,000 a year salary made until he retired in 2007. This is fascinating, right? If the jury comes back with a verdict to the city and says, you got to pay the man money, the city may say, well, we don't have all of it up front, okay? Well, where's the payment plan? Where is there has to be some level of compromise, because if the court cannot enforce this against the city, then what's to stop any city from simply saying no to paying out any settlement? All right, A.B., thoughts?
Well, so first of all, this is why we need to be up on how local government works. Let's start there. So even though a jury, right, decided that he was owed this money, the city council doesn't want to pay. But when a jury said he was guilty of a double homicide that somebody lied on him about, that was perfectly fine.
Yep.
The first issue I have with this is I don't even know if a city can sue someone for attorney's fees. I don't think that can happen. I'm gonna double check on that because I'm in local government right now and I'm pretty sure we just learned that the other day. They're not supposed to be doing that. Beyond that, right, I think what we need to understand is like, it is very difficult to overturn a wrongful conviction, okay? The Supreme Court has upheld convictions, right? Like people who are going to be executed despite having evidence of them being actually innocent. So the fact that he was able to overcome such a large burden should account for more than the BS jury verdict he got when he was convicted. Again, this is another reason that we need to be more invested in our local politics, because if you have a city council who is not on the side of justice, that is not a city council for you. And you might want to be a little concerned about what other things they're doing behind closed doors, in their closed meetings within your community. This is heartbreaking. And I have a soft spot for the wrongfully convicted.
Yep.
Because my family suffers from dealing with that right now. So at this point, this is another reason why too we need a national police registry. When a police officer is found to have done something unjust and wrong like this, there should be a way for other other police agencies to be able to track that and see this, because this is ridiculous. 21 years of being behind prison walls, $6 million doesn't even come close. Right. So the least they can do is give that man his money so he can have a decent life and try to move forward and heal from what he's dealing with now. Yeah. So make sure y'all vote. Thank you.
Absolutely, and I will say this quickly. This is the difference between a politician and a public servant. Obviously, everyone who serves on this council, they are politicians. They are not public servants. Public servants, they seek political office in order to remedy social ills. Politicians seek political office in order to get a job, get paid, and have power. That is the difference.